There are laws to this day of killing certain type of animals. You go to jail for killing, an eagle, or you kill a deer or something out of season. And here, we always in season. That's got to stop.
His whole nose is
Why you just sitting there? He ain't doing nothing now. Put him in the car.
how long y'all gotta hold him down?
Why you don't do drugs, kids? It ain't about drugs, bro. Stopping his breathing right there. He's talking. But you can get him off the ground. Oh, he's not resisting arrest or nothing. You enjoying it. Look at you. Your body language explains. You know it's bogus. You can't even look at me like a man. What's your badge number? You think that's cool right now, bro?
You'll call police on another police.
It ain't about drugs, bro. Y'all understand that?
Y'all don't gotta put y'all right.
He is human, bro.
His nose.
But I'm saying you can put him in the car. That's a bum-ass shit.
He cannot breathe. Get over here. No, first of all.
To see an individual lying on the ground, totally helpless, with at least 3 individuals propped up on him, one of them with a knee against his neck, and unable to move, hardly to even voice any words, and then reiterating, not only I cannot breathe, but calling for his mother. As a parent, the anguish, the distress, the helplessness, and possibly looking at that being my child, or my brother, my nephew, my uncle, my friend, and just it cannot be. In the United States, the country that other individuals throughout this globe are desiring to get here because it's the land of the free. And to see this happening is just in 2020, unbelievable. I mean, we believe that we've come so far.
My heart still go out to that family. And it still go out when I hear him in my mind still saying mama, because I am a mother of a black son.
It's funny to me how people of color or minorities always seem like we're more harmful, that we're gonna be more harming to a person. I think that's what happens when you dehumanize somebody. When you see us as an animal, maybe you expect the worst.
I don't know, I cried for a very long time. Sorry, my tears. I don't know, it reminded me of my dad. And not that my dad has experienced anything like that, but to see a man of that stature that looks and resembles something of my father was a very hard thing to have to witness.
What did you experience physically or?
Chills. That's the one thing I remember is this just overwhelming feeling of like just broken. And I don't know why that one was so much more damaging than the rest of them. But I guess it was more of an eye-opener, because then you look back on the rest of them and you see the videos of all of these people that are resurfacing from 2, 3, 4 years ago, and they hurt just as much as that one did. It was just like this, I don't know, this truth bomb had been dropped, and it was a very hard thing to deal with.
I don't know exactly how it happened, but that's not the policeman's job to be judge, jury, or an executioner. That's not what our tax dollars go to. So.
You know, and people around were like, you know, please get off of him. They were begging for this man's life. He was begging for his life. But the life of the black man has been reduced to this. I was just moved to a point of emotion so much that I felt like I knew that I had to do something, but I had no idea what to do.
Oh my God, I couldn't sleep for days. I said, any officer who watched this and see that there's not anything wrong with it shouldn't even be in this field of work. We literally witnessed a man get murdered on the streets. And all I could do was think about it. I was confused, you know, being an African American woman, have black kids and boys, being in law enforcement when I know what's right. Our job is to ensure that whoever we have in our custody, that their safety is primary. We're not supposed to be out here murdering people on the street.
He was on the ground. He was on the ground. He was subdued. He was helpless. And they just kept him in the dust until he suffocated. The way he died was cruel, inhumane. I could think of a few other adjectives, but they treated him like he was nothing. And they kept him on that pavement. I guess I could say, the pavement instead of the dust. But it was like the dust. When back during the days of slavery, back during the days of the civil rights movement, they did the same thing. They kept us in the dust.
You know, I was seething with anger. Anger that this was allowed to occur with onlookers, civilians, law enforcement. Angry that these crimes have been perpetuated against African Americans time and time again. And regardless of what video has been displayed to prove on an evidentiary basis that these heinous acts of police brutality exist in 21st century, I felt like nothing was going to come of it. And honestly, personally, still feel like there's going to be very little to nothing that comes of it. And it's sad because I love America. This is my home. This is my nation. I'm proud to be an American. I mean, I wear my flag lapel in with honor. I know what this country has done. I know what it has the potential to do, and it's just so disconcerting to see that we're still far away from where we ought to be.
We have that mission, and we're not going to stop until we see change now. Enough is enough. Like you have to see me. You have to look me in my eyes, realize it, understand who I am, and just take worth in me being here.
If you're an American, if you love your country, you have to talk about it. You have to get that understanding. I think by avoiding the questions and avoiding the topic, that's why we're here today, looking like 1960, then 2020, because we've avoided the conversation on both sides, black and white. We've avoided the hard conversation.
I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. There's some water or something. Please. Please.